The most surprising thing that I found out last year is that I actually have a brother that I've never known, and I'm excited to meet him.
My cousin went on Dr. Phil.
I once thought that a relative was very innocent, and I went into their phone and I saw text messages and I found out that they were hornball.
Probably that my aunt died from bone cancer.
Where you see, my Uncle Croker, apparently he's a pedophile. Who could have figured when I'm on the kids set, like, hello kids, A, B, C, D, he'd be like, oh, you mind if I watch it? I'd be like, sure. He wasn't watching me. He was watching little Jimbo over there.
It was my great-grandfather died. They, went through all of his stuff, and they found a KKK uniform.
One time, my grandpa, we found out he was part of a secret society because he had a, wizard robe and, a crusader sword. It wasn't like a KKK thing. It was, some, Mormon shit. It was really weird. But it was after he died, we looked through his stuff and he had almost cultist robes. It was freaking crazy.
Just the fact that the baby was born without no defects or anything, because my sister has had 2 miscarriages, so it wasn't a bad surprise, of course, but I was happy.
I was visiting my mom's, and prior to when I visited her, I heard that she went to the hospital, but she told me the other reason was she attempted suicide. It's especially a shock for me because I never knew anyone in my family that was feeling like that. At the same time, it was my my mom of all people, and it's wow. I mean, he technically asked me for an interview.
Oh, no.
I'm consenting. If I can, I digress back to the question.
She had cheated on me with 5 guys, and one of them being her best friend's ex. While her best friend was in the hospital, we all went to the hospital for her. And afterward, my girlfriend at the time, and her best friend's ex went back to her place and they hooked up. I was like, damn.
Only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing.
I could sit here and talk about some, normal, this one time a relative, surprised me with this or this or that. But let's be honest here. The one thing that comes to my mind is a pretty painful part of my life.
Once I saw the stuff that I seen, totally just rewired my mind, and I looked at life in a very different way after that. I matured and on a whole other level. It just totally shattered my illusion.
I found out he is addicted to drugs and has been going through rehabs for years, which was super, super surprising. I would have never expected that from him. He's the happiest person I've known, and like I said, he's doing super well owning a restaurant, and I would have never thought.
Just keep going. Don't stop, even though things are hard and things are not going your way. Just keep trying, because there's always going to be a better day. Just keep going. I know it hurts inside, but just gotta keep with the grind.
I mean, it's not crazy drugs, but I didn't know some of my cousins smoked marijuana. They seem like such a good kid if you don't know them.
This might not be surprising for everybody, but finding out that most of my family smokes pot, it was probably very surprising to me.
Are you working right now?
No, he's asking me some questions. He's doing some journalism. There's nothing I would say that's
that vacuum
really surprising.
Is worth it, bro.
My father is not allowed in the States due to tax fraud. Well, I mean, if he goes back to the country, he's gonna have to either do jail time or pay a hefty fine. Yeah, I don't talk with him either.
It's when I found out a very important lesson about family, and that is that blood doesn't make you family. A lot of people will disagree, but I am telling you right now, it does not make you family. I had some cousins come into our home who were down on their luck, in a bad place. My mother was more than happy enough to let them in against my better judgment, and to an extent my father's. And
I found out that my best friend was moving away. He's a friend that had helped me through a lot of difficult times, and I'm trying to get him into VR so that we can hang out. We can actually go bowling or go paintballing. Or I don't just like VR or love VR, I believe in it. I honestly think it can change the world and bring us together in ways that our species has never experienced before.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of success coming your way, and I know that. I see it inside of you. I see the potential, and don't let go of that potential. Keep thriving and take that advantage. And you said that you love doing it, so keep doing it.
The situations that they brought into our house nearly tore apart our household, nearly ended in my parents getting divorced. It was not okay. An atmosphere of just anger and hatred that to this day haunts me. You learn that when you live in a home with someone you thought was your family, family and they hurt you like that, blood don't make you family.
The most surprising thing I found out about family was that no matter like what happens throughout life, they always have your back, you know?
I don't think I'm close to any relatives, so I didn't have any surprising moments.
My mom had a heart disease when she was giving birth to me and my sister.
Yeah, I found out my mom was taking drugs. That was pretty surprising because I had no clue. Opioids. Yeah, that was a big experience because she got like fired and it was a whole big deal.
All right. Well, I found out one of my close family friends who I went to a lot of parties with when I was younger. My dad told me recently that he used to be a huge coke trafficker in his younger days.
It was semi-drug related. It was also related to the fact that we were trying to help them out. We were only supposed to be keeping them there for a year. That way they could get back on their feet. They had both gotten jobs and they were working. Granted, they were minimum wage part-time, but it was still jobs paying money, you know? At the time, my mother had lost her job. She had been working 3 jobs and she had lost all of them basically at the same time due to her health. She couldn't work anymore because she started to get a neurological disorder. It was a functional neurological disorder that she's still dealing with. They just flat out refused when we asked if they would start paying rent.
It will eventually take the place of the mobile phone, the desktop computer. I could see a day when instead of having big bulky hardware in terms of a tower and a whole computer, that you would just basically stream from a virtual machine. That's all you'd need is a really quick internet connection and a fast refresh rate or, low latency. All of the bulky hardware gets put on the server side, and that's all you do is really stream and let the server render it all.
That they received brain damage from being in the Hawks game, in a playoff game behind the hockey net. The puck was a slap shot and went through the net and hit my cousin-in-law in the head.
It was prescribed for some surgery she had, but then she got addicted on it from that. No, she's doing well. She's off of them. She's doing really well. She's, gone through recovery and all that, and she's doing great now. I'd say you have to have strong support from family and go to professionals to help you. Like see a psychologist, people who really know what they're doing with the support of family as well. Yeah, rehab worked for her well.
There was always an excuse afterwards after we eventually got them to agree. It was always, oh, we don't have the money or I didn't get paid enough. One moment, someone's knocking on my door. I gotta take this.
So can I ask what channel you're a part of? Because I love watching videos like this.
That they weren't who I thought they were. And maybe a lot of people feel this way because I've talked to a couple people and they sort of express something similar. Excuse me. For me, it's like my father. I grew up looking at him as like the Superman. You know what I mean? He was the man and everything that I wanted to be. And I just loved everything about him, My mother too. But as I got older, I began to see things, I guess, more clear. And now when I say that, it's when you're younger, you sort of see things as like how you want to see them,
Growing up, I always actually wanted to move to Japan. Like, I was a hardcore weeaboo, like eating ramen every day. My ambitions have really died down, Like, I'm just comfortable with working and playing VR chat. It sucks.
After 3 years of trying to be nice and trying to just basically them taking advantage of our generosity, finally just got to a point where I stepped in and said, look, you have 30 days. We don't want you here anymore. You have taken advantage of our kindness and generosity, and even after all that, I still wish you the best with whatever it is you get onto after that, but you have to leave here. You can't stay.
It took a toll on me. It hit me because I realized that person who I looked up to, that Superman, they had kryptonite, you know what I mean? Like they had their flaws, and it sort of shook me because I didn't know like who to turn to for advice, because that person, like that was the rock. That was the person who I leaned on for all the answers. Made me learn, that I had to, I had my own battles and my own experiences to go through. I had to find my own answers. I had to go through my own experiences in life. It just was a hard realization.
Learning that my sister was a swinger, to be honest. I know she liked both sexes and all that kind of stuff growing up, but growing up into my early 20s and all that kind of stuff, I just recently learned about it. I was like, really? That's how she met her now husband. She isn't about that life anymore, and it was just kind of one of those kind of mind-blowing things.
One bad thing that I probably picked up from this game, I'm sorry I'm sidetracking, is I don't have a drinking problem, but this is a very social game, and one big thing about VRChat is drinking. Like, people drink a lot or smoke a lot. It's real bad.
It was a night where I was drunk. We were all playing Uno, and then everybody's just kind of getting loose because of the alcohol, and all of a sudden my sister just came on and said it. What's funny is that my mom was not surprised. My mom kind of knew all along. My dad, on the other hand, was